obviously, for years, you've been helping people shape their stories and you work with legends. Let's just say that. What does it feel like for you to be that guy? Because you really are that guy.
I don't feel any kind of way. I just really believe that my teaching and my training from my mother allowed me to understand people. I have four sisters and two brothers. And she taught us all to love each other and to care for each other and to care for others outside of the family. My mother was an instrumental instrument of my life, and she guided me through the ups and the downs of life, from my youngest sister to my oldest sister and to my oldest brother. So it was like a teaching. And it's a teaching that I still teach and educate and stimulate young minds and old minds about loving yourself. I tell people every single day that I'm romantically in love with me. I love me some Angelo Ellerbee. Because if I love me, then I can love Kayla and I can love all other people. And that's what's really important. We're in a crisis in America where people are just doing strange and crazy things. And I say each and every single day, if you look inside of your life, share your life, share your ups and your downs and all the things you went through, and still you stand, you need to be thanking God every day of your life. You need to be thanking Him for it because you still standing. I'm still here. And so I don't go through all of the trials and the tribulations. I just say, wow, didn't He allow me to see my way through it all? Yeah, He did. And my book, before I let you go, it's not about celebrities at all. It's about that layperson. It's about that incarcerated person. It's about that homeless person. It's about the HIV and AIDS person. It's about, oh my God, it's about domestic violence persons. So the book gears to talk about all the people that I work with, and they went through some of the same things of the layperson. I wanted to let people know before I get up out of here, y'all need to understand that there's a God that blesses you and keeps you and is willing to give you chances. When you get out of incarceration, it's really difficult for that person to get out again and try to get a job or try to go back to school, or the homeless person to come from theirs and to get to society all over again. I think it's a prayer. I think it's a prayer. I think it's a belief. I think it's faith. And I pray 45 minutes every day of my life, asking God to help them all over the world, my God, to see the fortunes of you. I live by that. Kayla, I live by God. I don't live by nothing else. People say, oh, you're so incredible. I ain't nothing. I'm no more than a vehicle. I'm no more than a vehicle. He told us to teach one is to reach one. That's what it's all about for me. God, all right, so entertainers. Who are the entertainers? God is the biggest entertainer of us all.
You've worked with some who's who, so because you have this demeanor about you, and obviously, like you're standing on what you're saying. I believe, like the kids say, you're standing on business every time you talk to
Yes.
us. But how, like for people who are trying to become a publicist that works with legends like you do, what would be the first step other than
Right.
obviously what you just gave us was Christianity, faith, belief?
Right. I think it's faith, but more importantly, I think that you cannot just say, I'm going to be your publicist. You got to learn the importance of being their friend. You got to learn the importance of trusting. They got to trust you. You got to trust them. And they become open and willing to share with you the trials and the tribulations of their lives. I can't listen. I ain't reading nobody's bio and I ain't listening to your music. I want to talk to your mama. I want to talk to your daddy, your sisters, and your brothers because they're going to give me all the right ingredients that I can go and sell you by to your agents and to the magazines and to the TV stations. I want to know what you eat, what you don't eat, what you like. All those things become very important for me. And I want to make sure that I'm able to sell you in the right areas in which you need to be concentrated on. I really can't get into how many records you sold. That ain't helping me. That's helping the record company because it ain't even helping the artists in this day and time. Um, you got to really be able to come outside of the box and not just be an artist, but be an actress, be a writer, be a producer. You got to invest in yourself, and you cannot limit yourself to singing a song, particularly if you have not written the song, particularly if you have not produced the song, because all you're going to do is get a royalty for singing the song. And a lot of our older artists, they didn't write any songs. They sung the songs. And they're out here still working at 80 and 90 years old because now people understand the legacy. They don't make any, now they may be making some money. They wasn't making no money back then. People who don't look like you and I was making the money. And so I try to bring that to their attention. And I say to Miss Warwick a great deal, Miss Warwick, when you gonna slow down? She said, did you get your check this month? I said, yes, Miss Warwick, I did. She said, well, let me go do what I do. Because there's a real side of it all. The real side of it all is it was when it was exciting and when it was money making. They really didn't make that money that they thought they should have made. And now possibly they're making the money that they rightfully deserve to get. So I engineer them and I don't look at them in one particular corner. I try to look at all corners of their careers that they can do film, they can do TV, that they can write. All these things become important and it's like capitalizing off of what they bring to